Our next reconstruction is the tragic death of Diane Sindall in Merseyside. Diane was killed sometime around midnight on Friday, August the 1st, on Borough Road in Birkenhead. It's the busy main road through the town, but it's also a trunk route linking Liverpool with North Wales and Cheshire. So police are hoping that long-distance travellers, as well as local people, might be able to help. Diane lived and worked in Seacombe, just outside Birkenhead.
Hi. Are you okay?
21-year-old Diane Sindall was a florist. Residents of Seacombe were used to seeing her blue van making deliveries. She'd been engaged for 4 years, and she was planning to get married next year. During the day, she worked at her uncle's greengrocer in Seacombe, just round the corner from her flat.
Hi, Diane. Are your steak pies hot?
Red hot.
Oh, go on, give us one then.
Okay. Oh, well, she used to come in every day, you know, for a pie, a hot pie. She used to go to market early in the morning. So she used to count, you know, how much everything was. But I mean, she was saving up to get married. It's only natural that you're careful. I mean, I was at that age.
Yeah. She was a very nice girl.
It was something that shouldn't have happened.
No.
For the past year, she'd been earning extra money, working 3 evenings a week at a pub called the Wellington, just outside Birkenhead in Bebington. On the evening of her death, it was, as usual, about 11:30 by the time the pub had been cleared up and Diane was able to leave.
Absolutely starving, yeah.
She said she might pick up something to eat on the way home.
I don't know, I think I'll stop off and get some fish and chips.
By 11:45, Diane was in her blue van, heading towards home. It's a 5-mile journey back to Seacombe along the Old Chester Road. 2 joiners were working late in a car accessory store at the junction where Diane had to turn left into Borough Road, Birkenhead. It was about midnight when one of them saw the blue van stop. A short time later, the other joiner saw Diane leaving her van. It had run out of petrol. Diane set out along Borough Road, walking away from the centre of Birkenhead in the direction of Tranmere. She might have been planning to call on a nearby friend for help, or she may have been heading for a petrol station half a mile away, or perhaps she hoped to pick up a taxi. After that first sighting by the 2 joiners at the auto centre, the second sighting was a few minutes later, further along Borough Road. Crossville Bus Company driver Gary Lamb on his last run of the night.
I was on the last 87 bus from Parkgate, which leaves Parkgate at 11:30, and that'll get me down to Borough Road about midnight. What I seen was a young girl just before the 42 bus stop on Borough Road, and she seemed to be looking in a bag and turning round as if she was looking for a bus. There was definitely no chance she'd get a bus that time of night.
Then a third sighting within yards of the bus drivers. It was soon after 12:10. A taxi driver looking for fares.
It was around about 12:10. I was driving along Borough Road. 10 light on Borough Road. As I passed the garage at the bottom of Argyle Street, I saw a couple ahead of me. When I passed them, I noticed they were arguing. The fella put his hand out towards the girl. They appeared to know each other, but they were definitely arguing. It was as if they'd been to a club and then, you know, had a fight, and then were walking home together, you know.
Further along Borough Road, a couple driving home saw her near the junction with Whetstone Lane. As far as we know, this was the last time she was seen alive. The mystery is that Diane's body was found in an alley 150 yards back along Borough Road. Had she walked back, or had somebody driven her back? The next day, Saturday the 2nd of August, around noon, a local woman was walking her dog. Diane's body was lying only yards from Borough Road. Two and a half miles away at Bidston Hill that Sunday, 3rd of August, Anne Loven and Jim Foster were exercising their dogs. As they walked down a path near Viner Road North, they noticed someone had started a fire. Jim found a bag, a pair of blue jeans, and some other clothing still burning. There was also a charred page from a Barclays paying-in book. Well, Detective Superintendent Tom Baxter is in charge of this investigation. Those were Diane's clothes burning there, weren't there?
Yes.
But whoever started that fire only just done so.
Yes, the fire was discovered about 8 p.m. on the evening of Sunday, the 3rd of August. We do feel that the person who was burning Diane's clothing was disturbed. We are anxious to that end to trace anybody who was on the Bidston Hill area that evening, whether it be anybody who witnessed the fire, whether they saw anybody acting suspiciously, or whether they saw anybody carrying a bundle of clothing, or maybe carrying a bag which could possibly have contained that clothing.
Must have looked quite conspicuous, actually, too. Could you just show us on the map now those 3 places where Diane was seen that Friday night on the 1st of August? That's where she ran out of petrol.
Diane ran out of petrol on Borough Road opposite the Auto Safety Centre. She left her vehicle, and then there are 3 sightings of her as she walked along Borough Road out of the Birkenhead town centre.
The extraordinary thing is that last sighting at the junction of Borough Road with Whetstone Lane, her body was found 150 yards back along Borough Road. Now, how do you account for that?
Well, we don't know. We haven't got any sightings whatsoever of Diane walking back along Borough Road towards the town centre.
Her body was found very near where the taxi driver saw her, and she appeared to be arguing with somebody in a leather jacket. You're obviously anxious to find him.
Yes, this is a very important sighting. It appears that Diane was arguing with a man, and we are anxious to trace this person.
There was another girl assaulted that very same night on Borough Road. It's extraordinary that nobody saw anything.
Yes, there was a girl assaulted on Borough Road that evening. She was a 17-year-old girl who was dressed in yellow. She was subjected to an indecent assault and was eventually found on a park bench, sobbing and in a distressed condition.
Don't you feel somebody must have seen something? If 2 girls are assaulted on the same road, it's a busy road.
Yes, I do. It's very relevant that the assault must have taken place about the same time that we feel that Diane met her death, and I find it incredible in this busy, well-lit area that nobody has come forward who has actually seen either of these assaults taking place.
And somebody in a white Ford Sierra was seen too, who you'd like to come forward?
There was a white Sierra seen parked close to the murder scene at the relevant time. I would like that driver to come forward.
Well, if you can help, please, if you did see anything that night which might help, please ring us. And if you've been approached or accosted or assaulted in the Borough Road area any time in the last few weeks, any description you can give could be vital. You can ring and speak in complete confidence to a female BBC researcher or a woman police officer. The number here in the studio, 01811 8055, or call Birkenhead Police Station on 051 777 4979. That's 051, the code for Liverpool, 777 4979.